Hi class, in lesson 4.1 you will be introduced to decimals. Learning targets for today: you will understand decimals as parts of wholes, represent decimals on a hundredths grid, write decimals, and represent decimals on a number line. Key term for lesson 4.1 is decimal. Turn to page 228 and take a look at problem 1, say hello to decimals. Decimals are another way to show parts of a whole. A decimal is a number that is written in a system based on multiples of 10. You need to use a decimal point to separate the whole number and the decimal. For example, look at the decimal shown, 3/10. You can use tenths and hundredths grids to show the connection between fractions and decimals. You can also write equivalent forms of fractions and decimals. You see the model here represents 30 hundredths. We can write it as a fraction, 30 over 100, or in decimal form, 30 hundredths. This model here represents 3/10, written as a fraction 3/10, or written as a decimal 3/10. Answer number 1 with your group members. For number 1, the decimal value of the shaded portion is 40 hundredths. You can count the shaded portion in the hundredths grid in order to determine that 40 hundredths is shaded. Turn to page 229, answer number 2, letters A through D with your group members. Letter A represents 2/10, B 5/10, C 4 hundredths, and D 9 hundredths. Turn to page 231, answer number 3, letters A through D with your group members. For number 3, letter A, here is what your hundredths grid could look like for 5 hundredths. The equivalent fraction, 5 over 100, should also be written down. For letter B, this is what your grid could look like for 75 hundredths. And we have the equivalent fraction of 75 over 100. For letter C, here is what your hundredths grid could look like for 2/10. The equivalent fraction that we have is 20 over 100. And for letter D, here is what your hundredths grid could look like for 22 hundredths. And your equivalent fraction is 22 over 100. Turn to page 234, answer number 2, letters A through L with your group members. Here are what your decimals should look like for letters A through L. Please check them over with your group members to make sure that they are correct. Let me know if you have any questions. Turn to page 235, answer number 3, letters A through C with your group members. For number 3, when writing decimals in words, the numbers 21 through 99 need to have a hyphen. If you did not have a hyphen, please make sure that you add it, and make sure that you use a hyphen in the future when you are writing a decimal in words. For letter A, you can have 5 and 36 hundredths, or you could also have 5 and 360 thousandths. Letter B, 27 hundredths, and for letter C, 700 thousandths. Answer number 4, letters A through H with your group members. Here are the points that you should have plotted on the number line for letters A through H to represent each decimal. Please check the points over that you plotted with your group members. Let me know if you have any questions. This will conclude lesson 4.1 on Introduction to Decimals. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.